media, marketing, web team, and everybody else that's there to help. So we just want to thank them.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least, we want to make sure we thank NAFI, the National Association of Flight Instructors. They were kind enough this year to let us borrow one of their folks to help us with the judging process. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later. And we actually have two surprises, one from NAFI coming up, right, and then one other one we'll talk about later in the presentation. So stand by for that.
Yeah. Well, that's too far ahead, Chris.
It is too far ahead.
Yeah.
What did I do there, huh?
I don't know.
All right.
All right, well, we can wing it anyways. It certainly is exciting to be here to recognize and celebrate the finest flight instructors really as a whole, and also the flight schools from around the country. So the Flight Training Experience Awards are just one of the donor-funded programs from You Can Fly that are designed to move that needle to help grow the pilot community. So other programs that we have, I don't know, does that slide come up?
No, first we do this one because we got to talk about finding out about our audience, like all the good all the good instructors in schools do, right?
Okay.
So if you would, take out your phones because like any good instructor or school, we want to find out a little bit more about you. So if you would, take your phone and scan the QR code and help us answer these poll questions. The first one, and actually let's go back to number one there, Josh, too.
Yes,
both will show up.
We're good.
Yeah, there we go. What is the biggest rite of passage for a flight instructor?
Ooh.
So Dan, look at those choices. It's first solo student, first time a student tries to land, without, up on their own, of course. First coffee spilt in the cockpit.
Yeah, you never know.
And first learning opportunity with ATC. What do you think folks are going to say?
Well, I am not a flight instructor, but from my personal experience, I'm going to have to say first solo flight. I think that's giving them a lot of confidence, and man, that was a great experience for me where I actually realized that I could do it. So from the pilot standpoint in flight training, that's my vote. First solo is going to be very rewarding for CFIs.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one, especially signing them up. It's pretty nerve-wracking too, I would say.
Yep.
But I would say that first learning opportunity with ATC, that could be kind of scary the first time you're told, give me a phone call when I get down on the ground. So how many folks did that happen to?
Mm-hmm.
Get the old phone call thing. That could be kind of scary too. It's like, did I do something wrong? So we're going to see if those responses come in. We'll give that just a moment there.
Has anyone been able to use the QR code and put their answers in?
Yep, there they go. So hopefully they'll show up here in just a moment. And if not, we'll check back.
We're going to make it up?
Exactly.
No?
Okay. Well, we could do a show of hands, or we could just come back to it and check in a little bit.
Well,
let's do that. All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Put those answers in. We're going to come back and check on that in just a moment. So let's go ahead to that next slide, Josh, while those come in. And then if you would, skip ahead to the slide after that. So we'll see if the responses come in through it. There we go.
There you go.
All right. So Dan, what about the
one more.
One more?
Give me a click. There you go. Awesome. Thank you, Chris. So as I was saying, the Flight Training Experience Awards is just one of the many programs, donor-funded programs, for the You Can Fly program to help grow that pilot community. The high school aviation program we've designed to help open the eyes and minds of high school students around the country for the exciting and the rewarding and the well-paying careers available in aviation and aerospace. Our Flight Training Initiative is designed to help provide excellent flight training experiences for flight schools and for instructors and for student pilots, of course. And once pilots are certificated, our flying clubs team jumps in and helps them find affordable flying and improve access to aircraft through shared ownership models. And then a lot of us, sometimes life gets in the way and we're not flying as much as we'd like. We're certainly not current or proficient. So we've got the Rusty Pilots program that helps get pilots back ready, prepared, back in the loop, in the know, to do a flight review and to get back up in the air. Excited that we've had over 13,600 people since that program started that we got back in the air through that program. And then we also have a scholarships program that actually overlays to every one of those initiatives. So we've been privileged to be able to offer in this past year over $1.5 million to hundreds of deserving flight training recipients to help make their aviation dreams come true.
All right. Should we take a look at the poll real quick?
Well, let's see. Let's go back and see if that's working.
Man,
no one responded. You guys are you just...
We are lost comms up here with that one, so we'll just go ahead and go past that.
Well, it was going to be awesome.
It was awesome. when we were
was going to be awesome. But this year, there are some big changes with the Flight Training Experience Award. So Chris, why don't you walk us through that?
Absolutely. So if you're familiar with the program in the past, we used to do a survey, and then anybody could take the survey, and then we would then suss out the different winners. This year, we went to a new approach. We decided to go an application-based approach, which gave us actually some really nice benefits. One being that for people that want to apply and try to get into the program and get their, we'll talk about the report card here in a little bit, it gave them a whole lot more information about what was going on, so they could see the progress and know whether or not the folks they were asking to be their recommendations were getting all that done, which is really important to get the report card we'll talk about in a minute. For us, our judges were clamoring for more detailed information. They wanted to know more about the instructors and the schools, and so we were able to ask a whole bunch more detail. We were able to get photos of the schools, the different locations in it. We were able to get pass rates for the instructors. We were able to get things like fleet size, the different types of training offered, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of detailed information which really helped our judges understand what was going on. The things that didn't change, however, were those customer recommendations. We still use those as the main part of it, so that has not changed. We are taking the feedback from your customers and then being able to tell just how good of a flight training experience are you providing. In fact, we'll provide a little insight into that in just a minute. The other part that didn't change is we use a blind committee process. So what that means is that when the regional, when we talk about those regional winners and our national winner, when that goes before the judges, we have removed all identifying information. We take out names, locations. In some cases, if it's an aircraft other than like a Cessna or a Piper, we take that out too, so that way that they just don't have an idea of who that would be. All they know is it's school number 433 out of the West, or instructor number 75 out of the Eastern region. That's it. So we hope that removes any kind of bias that might happen, so they really don't know as we're going through the process. Give me a click there, Josh. There, oops, go back one, there it is. So the program itself is really based on promoting best practices. And the thing that excited me about this is that I actually had somebody come up to me recently at another conference and said to me, hey, I've been following your program at AOPA, and one thing I noticed, it seems like you guys are promoting best practices. I was like, yes, thank you, it's happening. And so, of course, those best practices are based on the 4 areas that AOPA has been talking about for a good bit of time now in that research: educational quality, customer focus, information sharing, and community. And so hopefully these things sound familiar to all of you. The really cool part of this program that we hear so much from flight schools and instructors is the report card that you get. That includes detailed information of everything your customers said about you, all the free responses, a breakdown of the different questions in that survey that were answered. And I know a lot of schools will tell me that they use that for that continual improvement planning. They can see, here's where we're weak, here's where we're strong, here's a place we'd like to improve. And they use that for their planning over the next year.
And it's really fun with the report cards too, is you can see where you rank compared to the other schools in the region as well. So you kind of see how you're doing against the rest of the industry. So some great data there.
And even nationally, even shows against everybody who was in the program. We received over 2,500 recommendations this year. And the one really cool thing that stood out to me is I talked about promoting those best practices. I talked about this yesterday in detail, but we get to see those best practices in action. It's not some theoretical academic thing of like, here's what good customer service is. We see from your customers what that actually means. So things like community and feeling like they're at home and they've got some place to stay, and some place that they feel welcome and warm. A feeling of family they even mentioned. Great customer service. That means like flexible scheduling. And they talk a lot about, which really surprised me on this one, was the owner being present. They really like that. They like the owner being around so that they can then connect with that person and know that they're involved in the entire process. And of course, safety. They talked about well-maintained aircraft, not necessarily new, but well-maintained, and then the idea of safety throughout all their training and good ADM. So they all say this in their own words, but it was amazing to see that come out of the research, or out of the input. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to assume that this may not work. Maybe we'll come back to it later. But here's one thing that we wanted to share with you. I talked about that customer feedback that we received, and sometimes there are some that when I'm going through and reading these things that really stand out in my mind. And in this particular story, actually came from our Eastern region. It's actually one of our regional instructors who won, Madison Nugent, right over here from Aviation Adventures. When I was reading that application, I was like, holy cow, I have not read things like this before. So I just want to read you a sample of one that wrote about Madison. This person said, throughout my years as a student, I've had multiple CFIs. It's unfortunate that I've had many instructors that instruct just to build time. But that unfortunate experience has also led me to count my blessings because of Madison. Madison is patient, knowledgeable, and remains calm at all times, even throughout the chaos. And he mentions non-towered patterns. I've also hated doing groundwork with instructors, but I didn't feel it because I didn't feel like I learned enough to warrant its cost. But with Madison, I look forward to it. Despite how much I study and learn on my own, there's always something new that I learn with her. Another action I praise her for is how my lessons seem to be created for me. She knows my weaknesses and my strong points, and while she continues to sharpen my strong points, she improves my weaknesses. The flight school I attend has airplanes with different avionics. Madison sacrifices her time building if the airplane that we are assigned doesn't have the same avionics package in it. She frequently tells me that she doesn't want me changing avionics because that would mess up that continuity in training. Many would say, an airplane's an airplane. Madison would disagree. I wish I would have met her and had her as an instructor sooner. Of all the instructors I've flown with, Madison is number one, and number two is not even close. But that's not it. This is the part that hit me coming up. The other day, without her knowing, she motivated me and brought me down to earth. As a combat military veteran, I've been in some high-stress situations. As a minority that grew up in a single-mother household in a horrible area, I had to overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges. The reason I share this is because when studying the other day, I threw my book and questioned whether to continue. I haven't had that level of frustration in over a decade. But Madison, with a few words, made me feel like I did deserve to be where I was. So to me, that just really hit me. I'm like, wow. And so the thing that I want you to think about is, and I'm sure you all know this, we're not just teaching people how to fly, we're also making those personal connections and making a difference in their life. So that's to be commended. Good job, Madison. All right. So let's start talking about the different categories of awards. There are a couple of categories, and the first one is our distinguished flight schools and instructors. These are folks across the nation that are providing a very high level of training and customer experience that is just amazing. And it really sets them apart. It is based on that direct customer feedback, all that detailed information in their applications, and then is vetted by AOPA staff. To me, what that means is it is a mark of our confidence that they are providing a great flight training experience. So that said, you've seen them highlighted on the screens throughout dinner, on those papers on your table. And so we know these folks are they're really doing something great. So if we would, I'd like to have all of our distinguished flight schools and instructors please stand to be recognized. Excellent job, you guys. Excellent job. Now, please remember that following the activities this evening, we will do a group photo right over here, stage right or
House left.
house left.
Thank you.
So right over here, because we'll have a photographer right up there on the steps. We'll take a photo right down here with everybody, and then hang around too, because we'll be glad to take individual photos with you. So please don't go away if you'd like to have your photo taken. All right, Dan. We got this big map here.
That we do.
Yes, we do. And so this gets into our regional and national best awards. As you can see, we broke the United States down into 6 geographic regions. And really what this was meant to do is to help divide out the different flight training operations and provide an opportunity, well, number one, a little bit of competition, a little bit of excitement, some of that, to help people find, what are you thinking, Dan?
Well, I'm looking at that Great Lakes region there, and you live in West Virginia, don't you, Chris?
I do, yeah.
How often do you get up and enjoy those beautiful Great Lakes?
Well, I do try to climb to the top of the mountain and
Okay,
look.
so we've got a little gerrymandering going on here.
All right, you caught me.
So what's that all about?
So obviously, these regions are a little kind of screwy, I know, and we even have Iowa in the central southern region. So what happened here was I was trying to balance them when we were doing this because it was kind of uneven, and I'm gonna blame somebody. It's Florida. Florida messed all this up. There's so many folks down there. So what I did was I actually went and looked at all the flight schools, and I tried to balance it out so they were relatively even, and this is where we ended.
Fair enough.
So, sorry, Iowa. All right. So that being said, our regional and national best award winners, what happens is of course, we have our distinguished winners in all the various regions, but our judges went through that committee process, and they pick one best regional school and one best regional instructor for each of the 6 regions. The thing that we also do, as many of you now know, is that among those 6 regional winners, we pick one national best instructor and one national best CFI, or national best instructor, I should say, and school. That said, of course, the twist, Dan?
They don't know about it yet.
They don't know who they are.
We do.
So it's going to be like the Oscars. I actually don't know. I have to open the envelope to find out, yeah. So we're going to do it like the Oscars, and so what we'll do is when our folks come up, they'll have them receive their award, and then please stand right over here to the left, and we're going to then reveal who the big winner is.
Awesome.
Okay, whoops, let me back that up one.
Oh, boy, now you did it.
I did it, I know, that was scary. Are you ready, Josh?
Before we dive in, let's take a quick couple moments here and just to see all of our regional winners in action.
Here we go.
Awesome. Congratulations to all of our regional winners. Some good-looking people out there in that aviation industry. That is fantastic. All right, here we go. It's time to announce our 2025 Best Regional and ultimately the National Instructor as well. It was a very, very fierce competition, and those on the committee made sure that we need to share that it was a tough process to select one regional winner from each and also the national winners as well. Chris alluded to this earlier. We'd just like to offer a special thank you to NAFI, who have generously offered a one-year free membership to all of our regional instructors. So thank you for the National Association of Flight Instructors. All right, with a turn of the page, We're going to get going. When your name is announced, regional winners, please come right up on the stage and receive your award. We're going to take a picture with you up here. And then if you could just head down the stage right next to Elizabeth, we're going to wait there to award the national winner. Sound good? You ready? I got one. One person's ready. All right. I am doing this. I'm doing this for the Luna Aero Club. Awesome. Here we go. All right. Best instructor, Eastern Region, Madison Nugent, Vienna, Virginia. Here's what customers said about Madison. Remarkable qualities as a flight instructor and her commitment to cultivating skilled, confident, and safe pilots. Her selflessness, dedication, patience, and subject matter expertise form the foundation of her instructional style, making her an invaluable mentor in the aviation community. Congratulations, Madison. All right, moving on to the Southern Region. Best instructor is Tiziano Bernard, Pooler, Georgia. Tizzy, there he is. Here's what they said about Tizzy. In addition to his technical expertise and flying talent, Tizzy has the kind of attitude that should be shared by every instructor. Tizzy goes above and beyond to ensure that his students use the best practices to keep them safe, legal, and courteous to others in the airspace. Congratulations, Tizzy.
Thank you.
And moving on to the Great Lakes region, best instructor is Peg Ballou. I'm going to call it Bucyrus, Ohio, but maybe you can correct me on that.
I was right.
Yeah, you were right. All right. Here's what her students said about Peg. She's very friendly, safe, experienced, and inviting. As someone new to aviation, I appreciate that she always takes time to prioritize safety, as well as answer any questions that I may have. I know with Peg I'll be learning how to be a safe and responsible pilot. Congratulations, Peg.
Thank you.
In our southern region, best instructor is John Schaffer, Willis, Texas. Front and center. Come on up, John. John's student said, first, he utilizes effective teaching methods that have helped me in understanding complex flight concepts. He has created a supportive and encouraging atmosphere, making the learning process enjoyable. Safety is always his top priority, and he emphasizes the importance of risk management in every lesson.
Please go right there and wait for
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
In our Pacific region, best instructor is Mike Smith, Napa, California. Here's what they say about Mike. Mike's students, like me, can advance through our flight training efficiently, safely, and confidently. Because Mike sees each of his students as individuals, his students can work on the elements that need improvement and practice with pleasure those elements that meet Mike's high standards. Congratulations, Mike. Moving on to our final region, the Western region, Jacob Peery from Gilbert, Arizona. Unfortunately, but fortunately, Jacob is not here with us tonight. He actually was in Denver for a short time today connecting through because he's headed on to his ATP training. So as much as we'd love to have him here, we'll be happy to send his award to him. And from Denver, where you were earlier, Jacob, we're going to send a congratulations. So congratulations to you, Jacob. All right, here it is, the fun part. Time to announce the 2025 National Best Instructor Award. May I have the envelope, please? And this envelope, sponsored by the AOPA Foundation. Big surprise. You guys are good. And the winner is Tiziano Bernard. Words simply do not fully express how Dr. Tiziano Bernard is the best possible candidate for this award. Tizzy is the most passionate, patient, and supportive instructor I've ever flown with, and will most likely stay at the top of my list for the remainder of my time in aviation. Would you like to come say a few words?
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Well, first of all, thank you to AOPA and to Redbird for this amazing event. It's so critical and important for us to communicate, to discuss major topics in our profession. It means a lot coming from AOPA. As I've discussed with many AOPA officials throughout this past year, AOPA is something tangible. It's a friend. It's somebody you can talk to when you have questions, when you have needs, and everything they do is almost unseen, but it's of extreme value, from protecting, obviously, aviators to protecting aviation itself. I'm extremely flattered. I will say that, obviously, I'd like to give my thanks to my flight school, my employers, for giving me the latitude, the independence to carry out the profession at the best of my abilities. I'd like to thank my primary employer, actually, Gulfstream Aerospace, for allowing me the chance to pursue further knowledge outside of the main working hours. And I'd probably like to thank my students primarily, because it's thanks to them that I'm able to always board a plane with a smile on my face. And they join me in this endless and never-ending pursuit of excellence that makes the American aviation tradition the best that there is in the world. So thank you very, very much.
Congratulations. Yes. All right, congratulations, Tiziano. And to all of our regional winners as well. You guys are amazing. Now, I told you there was another surprise. Of course, we mentioned NAFI and doing the complimentary memberships for all of our regional winners. In addition, we're starting a new tradition here at AOPA for our National Best Flight School and National Best Instructor. We are going to have a jacket embroidered, kind of like the master's jacket sort of thing, right? Embroidered with AOPA, and then the badge for that National Best Award. So we'll contact those folks later and get those shipped out. This was kind of a last-minute idea. We're like, oh, that would be amazing. So we got the proofs mocked up, and those are going to be made. So we'll get those out shortly. So now we move on to our 2025 regional and national flight schools. Of course, like the instructors, these are coming from the best across the nation. And they have proven their worth. And again, it was tough for the judges to go through that. It's a tough decision. But these are the folks that did rise to the top in the opinion of our judges. So let's get to it. The recipients are, from the Eastern Region, Air Ventures in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. So please come on up, Air Ventures. Their customer said, this school's more than just a flight school, it's a team. Everyone at this facility wants you to succeed and is willing to help. This Air Ventures culture starts with the owner, Doug, who's involved with everything and shows he cares about each one of his students. All the flight instructors are phenomenal. You can't find a better group of people to work at this school. All the instructors, maintenance, and staff embody that team attitude that is the culture of the school.
Is everyone from Smithfield, Rhode Island here?
Can you get everybody, Stephen?
We left one person.
So congratulations, Air Ventures.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Here, you want to go?
All right. You'll head on off and head right over there.
All right. From the southern region, our regional best flight school is Sun City Aviation from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Their customer said, the entire staff takes care of you, from the office to all the instructors. Communication at the school and from a distance is so easy. The instructors are knowledgeable and everyone knows you by name. The facility is cozy, which makes it easy to converse with anyone. The planes are great and well maintained. And here's the best part, we get to enjoy free water, which is great in Florida, and plenty of snacks. So congratulations, Sun City. In the Great Lakes region, which I am proud to be part of as part of West Virginia, Blue Skies Aviation in Bucyrus, Ohio. Their customer said her instruction was both patient and precise. The facility was warm and encouraging. It felt like the heart of general aviation. As a private pilot student, the ambiance of the hangar made me feel like I was joining a family more than a society of people who fly airplanes. So congratulations, Blue. In the central southern region, from Denton, Texas, is In the Pattern. So come on up. Their customer said, This has to be one, if not the best learning environment in aviation. The instructors are incredibly knowledgeable. They are more than willing to go the extra mile to see their students succeed. Jumping in something like aviation can be very stressful, but the instructors, support staff, and management really create a welcoming and supportive environment that helps ease that stress.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, congratulations in the pattern. Our best flight school in the Pacific region is Flex Air from San Diego, California. So come on up, Flex Air. There they come. Their customers said that from the moment I walked through the doors, I felt welcomed and supported by a team of passionate instructors and staff. The quality of instruction at Flex Air is truly top-notch. They tailored each lesson to my learning style, ensuring that I not only understood the technical aspects of flying, but also felt confident in my abilities. The emphasis on safety and thorough preparation gave me peace of mind as I took to the skies. The facilities are modern and well-maintained, and I appreciated their commitment to the latest technology and resources, which made learning even more engaging. Congratulations, Flex Air. Best flight school in the Western region is Chenault Flying Service. There it goes, whoops. North Las Vegas, Nevada. So come on up, Chenault. The owners and staff are adaptable to changes and meeting customer demands while never sacrificing safety or the betterment of the aviation community. Typical of most schools who sometimes lack emphasis on building strong relationships and giving feedback and having a safety management system, Chenault Flying Service does all of those things in spades. Everything from maintaining aircraft to ensuring students get their licenses on the first attempt is done the idea with a student-centered approach. Congratulations, Chenault. Okay, folks, there's some tough competition out there. This was, like I said, this was tough for the judges. But now we need to announce the 2025 National Best Flight School. Dan, the envelope, please. Thank you. Let's see if I can get this thing open. Thank you. And the recipient of the 2025 National Best Flight School is actually our first three-time recipient. It's in the pattern from Denton, Texas. Their customer said they are for the students' best interest. From the office staff to the maintenance team to the instructors, they all have the best interests of the students in mind. Personally, from my experience, everyone's there to make better pilots and keep the skies safe while going about it at the student's pace. I'm very glad I made the decision to do my flight training in the pattern, and I haven't looked back. Congratulations to the pattern in Sherman. You guys, would you like to say something?
I'm so humbled. It's not about me and Darren. Darren's my brother. I always tell people I have two brothers. I love both of them, but I like one of them. And the one I like's in East Texas right now. Honest to God, Darren is a great business partner, and great things have happened in spite of us. The best flight instructor said it great. AOPA, you guys are great advocates for us. It sucks out there sometimes. It really, really does. And I'm not even talking about the students or your instructors. I'm just talking about the world of dealing with, can we say it, the FAA. We do our best, right? And our core purpose in the pattern is experience aviation. Jerry, I can't remember your last name, but it's Harley Davidson forever in my life. When you spoke this morning, you sang our song. We want to experience aviation. That's our core purpose. And we have a tagline underneath it that says experience aviation, and sometimes it includes an airplane. We want to do life with our students. But we don't do life with our students before we do life with our team. We take care of our team first. We're a family. A lot of our instructors, and a lot of y'all are instructors out here, young instructors. And let's be honest, a lot of them, this is their first full-time job they've ever had. We have the privilege and the opportunity and the honor to help these young people grow up a little bit. We don't just teach them how to train future aviators. We get to help them navigate into life. That's a privilege and that's an honor. And if we take care of our team first, our customers are going to be taken care of. And that's kind of our philosophy in the pattern. We want to make the best opportunity possible for everyone that walks in our door. We don't call it a business. We call it our house. We don't let DPEs in the door if they're not going to be kind to our people. Our people are already scared to death to go to check rides. They don't need an intimidating DPE to make it even worse. So our DPEs come in and they care about our students. They care about our team. They care about our instructors. They care about aviation. And so we're humbled. I mean, I'm a believer in God, and I've got to give him credit because Darren can tell you this. I say it all the time. I'm not smart enough to do this. And so I just follow my heart. I follow my gut. And I do the best I can for the person who's standing next to me. And I try to teach all my team to do the exact same team. Thank you guys very much. This is an incredible honor. And these are good people right over here between Chris and Dan and Elizabeth and Stephen. The AOPA team, you guys are awesome. And thank you guys so much. Redbird, Todd, you guys have a great team here, man. Y'all really do. This has been an excellent conference. I always learn something. I'm 61 years old, and I tell these young people, you never, ever stop learning. And so thank you again. I was a preacher in my past life, so I don't know how to stop talking. You gave me the microphone. It's your fault. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, yes. You deserve it. Again, let's hear it for all of our regional winners and for our National Best Flight School.